Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our podcast. My sister is a Karen. I'm Jennifer, and this is my sister Karen.
Hey everyone, welcome. This is the conversations that Jennifer and I have when someone says or does something ridiculous, and you're like, I have to go call my sister.
Or if someone does something funny or we do something
It-
ridiculous,
Everything.
lots of
So
things.
many things that happen in life that I'm like, I have to go to call my sister right now.
So we haven't talked
No,
in like
we,
weeks.
yes, like I started a new job and then promptly got sick. I'm recovering, as you can hear from my super sexy voice. And Jen, her schedule is a little less flexible, but it was really easy for us when we only had to go with her, like navigate around
Right.
her schedule. Then navigating around my schedule as well, being on night shift, being in different time zones all the time, and then me getting sick. We planned to record 3, 4 times and I fell asleep. You would like call and be like, "Are you ready?" And 4 hours later, I'd wake up and be like, "Fuck."
Yeah. It was never easy to carve out time to record the podcast. But it got infinitely harder in the last, 8 weeks, which is why, once we went 3 weeks without recording a podcast, then another time we went 4 weeks. I think we're hoping to get back on the every other week schedule, but I literally haven't even talked to you. Like, I don't even know what's going on.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. So, we'll see what happens because this is actually one of those things where it's like, this is what it looks like when we chat after a while.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, let me tell you what happened. You didn't even know I was going to do this. I was putting on my makeup a few hours ago to go run my errands and then to come back and hopefully record the podcast. I looked in my makeup drawer in my bathroom. So I only have like deep drawers in the bathroom.
uh-huh.
So I have these like little baskets and a lot of the makeup is standing up inside the baskets. Like the foundation bottles are standing up. Opened the makeup drawer. I took out, I think, the foundation, put it on, put it back. I went to reach and I was like, there's something weird on that foundation bottle. And I picked it up. I don't remember if it was the one I had just used or if it was a different one, but I picked it up and it fell off. And and I was like, that looks like one of those little brown, like we have those little brown spiders in Kansas and in Missouri.
The
They're
brown
kind of like,
recluse?
no, like the little ones. They're harmless. They're like light brown.
I
They're
instantly go to
gross.
murderous and deadly. The brown
I was like, "It's one of those little spiders." And so I was already, like, thinking, like, "I'm gonna go get the vacuum and suck up the spider." And then I was like, "We don't have those here." I don't even think we have spiders in Arizona. I've never seen a spider since I've been living here. And then it moved in the little basket.
No,
It was a scorpion.
no, stop. Oh,
It was like light brown and it was in the makeup basket. And I was like, I looked behind me. The
this
dog
just
is
got
in
very dark. Okay. In your
what?
makeup, this just got very dark. This is so
Yeah, it's very dark.
violating. This is awful.
It's
Oh my
awful. To be honest, like, remember a while back on one of the episodes, I was like, there was a scorpion in the house and Lucille and the cat. I don't know what you're actually supposed to do when you see one. Yeah. I see you thinking. I see the smoke coming out of your ears like you're
yeah.
thinking about. I don't
I
know what
mean,
we're
run
supposed
and
to
burn the
do.
house down, I think, is my reaction, but that can't be right.
It was like, well, I don't want it to get away because then I won't know where it is. But I also I don't have anything right now, right here to get it. The dog is in the room, the cat is in so I closed the cat was in my bedroom on my bed. She has
Is
taken a
there a
good day napping
scorpion
on my
in
bed.
your drawer right now? Is this how
What?
that if this story ends with there being a scorpion in the drawer right now, we'll take it. Okay. I was like, we'll take a
No,
break.
I would not just be sitting here chill. No, 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 no. I closed the drawer. I picked up the dog who's dead asleep. Like dead asleep. I picked her up. I put her outside in the backyard. I left the cat where she was because the cat doesn't care. But I put Saphira out back. And I came back in and I got the vacuum and I just sucked it up with the hose in the vacuum. I don't know, like, what I need to do long term to not have scorpions in my house. I mean, not live in Arizona is probably the solution, but yeah,
So is
that
it alive
happened.
in the vacuum?
No, I let it like, I have a Dyson, so it, like, spins.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I got you. I'm like, you
I
need to empty
tucked
that.
it in, and then, like, I let it spin in there for a while.
Good call. Yeah.
If it's alive, I don't then it honestly, if it's
If
alive,
that's
then it
alive, we
deserves.
probably have bigger things to worry about.
It was like a lot. If it's alive, it deserves to be alive, quite frankly, because I literally just, like, tortured it. So that happened just a few hours ago. Then I was like, I don't know if this is the kind of thing where, like, like, if there's one mouse, you probably have a lot of mice in the house, like, people always say that. Like, I don't know if this is the kind of thing where it's like, because that was months ago. That was, like, 6 months ago that we had the scorpion that the cat that got to the cat
Yeah.
that day. I don't know, but I didn't go run my errands because I was like, I don't really know what I'm gonna do sitting here if another scorpion is here, but I was like, I don't wanna leave the animals in the house by themselves in case there's another scorpion, although the one that was there is gone. But I'm
Well, what
also
did
afraid
Google
to.
say?
What?
What did Google say? You didn't ask,
Didn't
like,
Google it. Who has time for Google? I was watching The Summer I Turned Pretty, which I just finished reading, so thank you, I have things to do.
okay. I have not gotten into that.
Go ahead.
It's well, it's a big Swiftie thing because her music is all over it. So and she apparently
He does have a few songs in it. I mean, I've watched 2 episodes. There have been a few Taylor songs. It actually has a really good soundtrack. There's some really good music in it. I needed desperately a break from these romanticy fantasy books. If I have to read about one more, just no. I took a cleanse for like 6 months, and I really kinda didn't read for the first half of this calendar year, which is not like me, and then I went back and I read some other things, then I reread The Hobbit, which is always my
yeah,
favorite,
that's
and
like your
then
comfort book.
I took a recommendation from a couple of friends, and I read something else, and I got, like, 2 or 3 books in, and I was like, "I can't fucking do this." I can't read this stuff anymore. Like, a lot of them have, like, a powerful female, lead.
Yeah.
I love a powerful female lead who can kick a couple of men's asses. I love that will save her people from, the Sealy court that's oppressing them for thousands of millennia. Well, like, whatever. Like, I love that concept, but the romance part of the books, I just can't anymore. These men, they suck. They are awful. Like, no, they are such a giant red flag. I would never date these kind of men in real life. Not only would I not date them, I would run the opposite way. And I don't
And
know who's
probably get a
writing these
restraining
men.
order on a lot
Yes,
of like I
literally. They're
yes.
abusive, they're possessive, they're stalkers. And if I have to read one more book about a mating bond, I can't. So I went to teen angst. I was like,
Uh,
I'm gonna get as far away from this as I can. And I went to teen
ex
angst. I read My Life with the Walter Boys. I read The Summer I Turned Pretty.
nice.
I had a great time.
You did not see, we haven't talked, and it like, we haven't talked in the past, like, 3, 4 weeks, I mean, like, we've barely even had time to text, um, but we haven't talked enough because I found an author who does, like, mystery thrillers that were amazing audiobooks because they didn't have any graphic sex or violence because I'm I'm too prude to listen to smut.
I don't want to read pornography, which is part of why I don't want to read these romantasy books anymore. Let me jump in real quick though and tell you. So when I told my friend Colorado Sam that I couldn't read any more romantasy books, because a lot of my recommendations came from her. I give her a lot of
Mhm.
recommendations. I was like, I'm done. Like, I have to literally, like, wash my hands of it. I can never read it again. She goes, "Oh, you should read what I'm reading." And I was like, "What are you reading?" And she goes, "I'm reading Mafia Marriage of Convenience book." No, immediately no.
That can't have any toxic males. God,
I'm gonna give up the toxic fae men to read the toxic mafia bosses. And she's like, "Yeah, it's really good."
I get
That's when I was like, "I'm going to teen angst." Like, I've had it.
Yeah. I found this author from Audible. They do,
Who is
like,
the author?
sale David Ellis, very, very good, like, twists and turns and, like, like, the first book that I was reading it or listening as I was driving to Virginia, and, I was, like, driving through West Virginia, and I'm like, "Oh my god! Oh my god!" Like, and then I look, and I'm like, "I'm only halfway through this book. Like, this isn't even the big reveal." And it
Interesting.
wasn't, but I was so I mean, and it was also very fun because the book was set in Chicago, in downtown Chicago, and because mom and dad lived there for so long and
Yeah.
we've been there, like, that really made it more just talking about this stuff, walking along Michigan Avenue and all that. But I think and I've read a couple other of his that I really like.
Okay. I'll go look it up because I mean, the teen angst is like my
That's always
daughter keeps
gold.
telling. What?
That's always gold to me.
It's always gold, but you can't do it long term. Like, you can do it for, like, it's a good cleanse, cleanses the
Yes.
palate, and now you can go back and read something that's, like, sustainable, you know?
Yes.
And also, I do have to say, like, my daughter's like, "Mom, it's not called teen angst. That's not what the genre is called." And I'm like, "Well, that's literally what I'm calling it." And everyone who I talk to knows exactly what I mean when I say it's
What do they call it now?
young adult.
Well, okay.
And I think probably, like, The Summer I Turned Pretty, that's probably young adult romance. My Life with the Walter Boys, or My Year with the Walter Boys, whatever that book was called, it was quite a good book. It's just and also My Life with the Walter Boys, 2 books. Love that for me. The Summer
Yeah.
I Turned Pretty, 3 books. Love that for me. Like, 2 and 3 are the sweet spot. Like, these romantasy series, it's like, 9 books of The Court of Thrones. Like, my god, stop it already. You could have wrapped this up so long ago.
Yeah, my, romantasy, like, guilty pleasure is, the Black Dagger Brotherhood, which is like a vampire thing,
I've
but
heard about this. It's very popular.
yes, because it's been out for, like, 30 years and she's continuing to write. She says all the time, like, "As long as people are still reading it, I will keep writing it." So I'm like, "So they're never going to win." Like, there's this ongoing and she's a fantastic storyteller. I mean, amazing. Like, I love the vampire legend and stuff, but there's this ongoing, like, it's called the Lessening Society that's like always trying to kill the vampires and the vampire, and I'm like, so that's never like, and then they get up to like how each was created, and I'm like, so you never plan on resolving this. Megan can't read it.
Exhausting.
She's so pissed at me that I even got her to read any of them because she's like, "What do you mean she still is writing them?" She's the one that was like, "So it never ends?" Like, she's like, "That's not the fantasy I want."
Don't remember who told me about this first, but I literally just was talking about this with somebody like a few days ago. I know who it was. Yeah, because when this person was telling me about it a couple days ago, I was like, "Oh, I've heard of this before. I've never read it, but I've heard of it." But I don't think I realized it never ends. Like, the conflict is never resolved or anything.
Yeah, I mean, like, the conflict within, like, the stuff with the individual stuff, yeah, but, like, the overarching, like, good versus evil is never gonna end.
Did you read the ones it's been a while ago, I think Lucille was still in high school, so it's been a hot minute ago, by Cassandra Clare, and then they did make it into a TV show, and actually, the actress that starred in the TV show was from Kansas City. I've never seen her in anything except that TV show. It's called Shadowhunters.
No.
Okay, so that one was I did love it. It was really good. It's low key romance. Like, it's higher up on the fantasy level than it is on the romance. And it takes place in modern times, like in New York City and modern
Mhm.
times, but there's this like underworld or whatever. It's really well written. I really liked it. There was like the original series was called Shadowhunters, or maybe that wasn't even the original, but that was the first thing that I read. And there were like 7 or 8 or 9, but it was, like, 3 too many, you know? But then what she did, which other people do, it's a formula, she didn't invent it. But then what she did was so the shadow hunters are like that's a like almost like a race of people.
Yeah.
And then she went back generations ago and wrote a set of books about shadow hunters from like maybe
Like a
1800s.
spinoff series.
Yeah, and there were like 2 but what happened was because the shadow hunters are like a race of people or whatever, so then there were like ancestral, like
Yeah.
familial, familiar names that and but then there was also like immortal beings like vampires and werewolves and stuff like that. So sometimes like the same vampire was in the series from the 1850s, but then was also in the series from present day interact and he'd like randomly be like, I mean, I knew your like great grandmother. As a matter of fact, like I had a relationship with her, or whatever.
Yeah.
So there was this like crossing, no like mortals crossed from through time zones, but it was really interesting because then you had this like family tree that and I like people online went bananas putting together the family tree and but it was an interesting so it kept you coming back even though
Yeah.
you were looking at different people through this world. Eventually it was still just too many books for me and I
Well,
got like tired of it.
like what Suzanne Collins did with the Hunger Games. Like
Exactly.
that the Hunger Games resolved, but we loved that world so much
Yeah.
that she's
But
done.
this was even like she went
Yeah.
way beyond because The Hunger Games just went back and gave us backstory the way that, like, we got
Right.
backstory on Darth Vader and Star Wars, which
Yeah.
nobody needed, by the way, but whatever, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Uh,
okay, so I do wanna talk about so I got my Botox.
nice.
Yeah, and I wanna talk about, like this is leading into because I wanna talk about, like, some of the celebrities who have chosen not to wear makeup, Pamela Anderson and Alicia Keys, and like the beauty standards and stuff like that. But through the conversation, I want to say, so I went and got my Botox. I choose not to be like those women, but I admire I respect we all get to make our choices about how we choose to age.
Yeah.
So I went in to get my forehead Botox. I get a little like around the crow's feet, and then I get 1 or 2 shots, above the lip to help pull the pink part up a little bit so there's a little bit more lip visible. It's not the same as filler. I tried filler like a year
Lip
ago.
flip.
It didn't. I reacted poorly. It didn't work. So I was in there getting my Botox with Rachel and I go, "Hey, I've noticed recently that just if I'm like this, you can now it's not because she altered it. But if I just like regular face, like my RBF face with my lips closed, I've noticed there's a little bit of a downward pull right here, just like in the corner outside of where the pink part of my lips is. And I was like, what do I do about that? Like, I told you before, like, I'm always ready for a facelift. I'm just ready to just pull all of this back and just start over, you know? I also probably won't ever get a facelift because I'm just too scared. I'm too scared of surgery, but I'll talk a big talk. So Rachel was like, well, we can do a little bit of Botox in here to relax this muscle. And because we'll relax that muscle, it'll pull less. So we did it. And I'm happy with the results when I do this. I
Mhm.
feel like the down pull is less. So I'm happy with that. It changed my smile, which is really weird. And I don't know if you can tell, but when I smile in the mirror or like if I'm taking a selfie, not that I take them all the time, but I do
Yeah.
my smile isn't right anymore. The lip flip doesn't do that, but this did.
Oh,
It also I can't figure out exactly what the pattern is, but there are words that I'll say and my lip it moves differently now and it'll kind of get hung up. And I'm like, so now I have to decide, do I let this drop or do I have a changed smile?
so let me start with, did you start noticing that because I told you that mom said that I'm scowling and have jowls? That
No, but you can tell that story.
uh,
I had already been
I mean
noticing this, but go ahead, please
I
talk
mean
about
that
how our mom shames us.
yeah, she kept saying to me, like, she'd walk in there and be like, "Oh, what's wrong?" And I'm like, "Nothing." She's like, "Oh, you look like you're mad." That's just my face. And then she'll be like, "Oh, yeah, as you age, you get those jowls."
Just say that to it's different if you said to me like, "Jen, do you think I have jowls?" And then I'll be like, "I don't like, let me see, like, do this with you." That's
If
different,
I
but you don't say that to someone uninvited.
was like, "Look, this is my aging strategy. I have very oily skin and I consistently am a little bit chubby, and both of those things work in the favor of aging. Having a little extra fat."
It's true. It's true.
I mean, I'm like, even when I'm thin for me, I'm still like, I still
Fuller face than like I do, or even Megan. Megan's face is thin like mine too.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I'm like, I have a rounder, fuller face and then my oily skin, you know. Yeah, but she's like, and she did for like a week and a half. She even had dad convinced. I would come in and she'd be like, "Oh, are you okay?" And I'd be like, "Yeah, I'm fine." And dad would be like, "Well, you did look like you were upset." No, I didn't. Don't listen to her. Like, don't take her side, dad.
The boomer moms and the Gen X, offspring,
Yeah.
I think we're all really fucked up by the things that our moms. I mean, I'm not giving dad a pass, but I don't remember dad saying things like, "You're too thin, you can't wear that. That outfit is not designed for someone with your figure." Like, I don't remember dad, or like mom would be like, "Mm, I think you need more mascara. Go back." Like, I would never say that to my kids today. Like, I would never say things like that to my kids.
Okay. And our boomer mom has changed some of those memories as well. She said something to me. I made a comment, something about my boobs, and I was like, please. I'm like, people have thought I've been hypersexualized, and people have thought I was a slut since since before I had my first kiss. People thought that I was slutty. And I'm like, just because I have big boobs doesn't but so I said something about that. And she was like, which is so weird because when you were in high school, like every dance that you went to, you had a very modest dress and you always just got like a cute little black dress that was hot. And I'm like, and her memory is she's like, you had such good judgment. And I'm like, I did not. I wanted to dress
Not
like a
how this
whore and
chapter went.
I I wanted to dress, I mean, not like a whore. I wanted
You
to
wanted
dress,
to wear what the girls who didn't have your figure were wearing.
yes. And
This is what
instead
we all wanted to do in high school. We all
right.
wanted to wear what everyone else was wearing.
Yes, absolutely. Like, if your
Made you
friends all
wear
jump off a
old
bridge,
lady
yes, I
dresses to
would.
homecoming.
Yeah. She totally remembers it different. And I'm like, no, like, we went to so many places and she was like, no, you can't wear that. No, you can't wear. I mean,
I agree.
and I'm a good sport because I'm like, I do see that it's hard, especially for dresses. It's very hard to find a flattering one for me. But looking, I'm like, this wasn't my choice. That was what I was fucking stuck with. I had to dress like an old lady at all the high school dances because none of the dresses were designed for my body.
But remember, mom was like, "No, you can't have sequins because that will draw attention to your boobs." Like, it wasn't, yeah, you didn't choose those old lady dresses. Mom did.
Exactly.
That's really interesting how she's like altered it in her head.
And also, that's interesting how she altered it in her head, and it gives me better judgment as a teenager because that's not something anyone would ever say about me.
No. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that mom even gave you that one because she doesn't like to give you credit for anything that happened in your life before you were 30.
No, no, not at all.
So interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Let
So
me let me tell this story because we like we do love our parents. We troll them
totally.
and whatever, but like I would not trade them. And let me tell this great story about dad. So I recently started a new job and we had a code recently and it was a small elderly person and I was the first, and I just want to say like my coworker that I don't think any of them listen to this, but my coworker that who was the primary nurse for this patient was fucking amazing. This person did everything that I literally tell people, this is what you should do if it's your patient that codes. You need to step back and orchestrate and be like, Karen, get on the chest. You get the slide board. You get, you know. So I was the first person on the chest and doing compressions, which is very traumatic on the person and the body that we're doing it to, obviously, because we're cracking ribs. But it also, I mean, it's hard to be the first person because you also have to be the one to do that so that everyone behind you and the person from the code lived, ended up going to ICU, and we got them back. I know, which is not like TV. It's less than 50% of the
Yeah,
time.
thank goodness.
Yeah. So, but it was just hard for I came home and, I was just dad was awake, mom was, like, walking the dog or what and I was like, "Can I just have a hug?" Like, I was like, "It was just a hard shift." And I'm like, "We got this person back," but I'm like, "It was really hard for me." And dad was like, "Wow." He's like, "Karen, you literally saved that person's life." And in my
Mm.
nurse brain, I knew that
Yeah.
because I'm always the one that's like, "Get on the chest, get on the" like, that is the most important thing in any
Mm,
CPR situation. Start
mm.
compressions firm and fast right away. So the fact that I did that, and it changed it from this thing about me being like, "Oh my gosh, that was really hard for me to be the person who did it." It totally changed my perception and my perspective, and I was like I came home the day after that, and I was just like, "I just want like, what you said made that easier for me to deal with." Like, so our boomer parents do have some wins because that was like
Yeah. Our dad is actually really, really good at saying the right thing in a tough moment. Like, I can look
yes,
back, even like as a child, teenager, adult. And as a result, there have been many pivotal, tough moments. And I think all four of our lives where the phone call actually went to our dad, not our mom.
yes.
And so our dad is really good at saying that. But also going back to like, good for you. I'm really proud of you. Like that's the work that like that's the work you signed on for, but it's really hard. It's hard emotionally and physically and mentally. And so good for you for doing that. I'm proud of you.
I mean, honest like, thank you.
Yeah.
I've been a nurse for, like, however over 10 years.
15 years or
I don't
something
ha
now,
like, I
right?
it's yeah, 14 years now, whatever. So, I've been a nurse for a while. I don't work in ER or ICU where we have codes frequently. This is also the first time that I've ever been involved in a code with the patient that the patient came out of it. I was like
Wow.
'cause I said I go, "This is the first time that I've been involved in a code where it wasn't the doctor calling it." So, which also then did make it different because I mean, no, not that other times that I'm the first one on the chest that, I'm like, "Well, that was my fault that the" I mean, not that that's what I'm saying, but it just, because it is so rare, and then dad I mean, because his just, like, knee-jerk reaction when I was like, "I mean, we got her back," he was like, "Oh my god, good for you."
Yeah.
Like, and like I said, because a
Yeah.
lot of it shifted my perspective to, like, okay, so me having that little bit of trauma for that moment literally is worth it because
Absolutely.
this person so I had said to you, I was like, "Do you think it's okay if we say this?" Because it's a little graphic to say what, but I think it's so important, and I was like, "That's perfect," because I always feel like it's important that we say, like, we're trolling our parents, but it's all in love. Like, we really do have
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
we totally troll them on here, but I mean, they could still listen. Like I would never say to them like, "Oh, you can't listen. We said some things about you," because we would say these things to their face,
I walk downstairs and tell them everything. You know I can't keep any secrets. I walk
you know?
downstairs soon as I'm done recording, mom's like, "What'd you talk about?" "Let me give you a breakdown because you don't watch
We talked
anymore."
about you, mom, a lot.
I also
Yeah,
would
I mean,
talk
there's
to
so much especially with mom, there's just so much material. Like I don't does she like there's
no,
so much material with our mom. We could literally have a podcast like and I mean, maybe we would probably in jest call it something like ways my mom damaged me.
I was just gonna say, like, things my mom said that I talk about in therapy. We could have a segment.
See? Exactly. But I mean, as much as I would like to, like, hope that I'm a better parent than my parents are, and I mean, my parents would tell you that they would hope that you and I are better parents than they were.
Yeah.
I'm sure my kids can point to things too where they're like, "Oh, my mom shouldn't have done that." They're probably trolling me on the phone right now with their friends. I don't know.
Do you you remember a few was it I swear it was you, not anyways. Michael, like a month or so ago, we were having a conversation and he said something about one of my ex-boyfriends and he's like, "He was kind of a loser, wasn't he?" I'm like, "Yes, yes, he was. That was a mistake and I'm sorry you were involved." Like,
Yeah, Michael said that. That was pretty funny. You did tell me that.
that it was so hilarious. I
Mhm.
listen, as much as they messed me up, I cashed in on the like, "Oh, we'll pay for therapy later." Okay.
I learned my lesson there because I never told my kids I would pay for their therapy when they got old. They're on their own.
I don't think I told Michael that either. He pretty much knows I can't afford that. I can't even afford it for
Yeah,
myself. So,
exactly.
okay,
Funny.
so let's talk about the few times that we have talked, like talked live. We've been like, okay, we need to talk about this new little trend topic, whatever, of like women being called brave for not wearing makeup. This, as someone who chooses to wear makeup and like it is offensive and, like, horrifying to me that you would say, like, "Oh, she's so brave." To come out as she is?
Yeah. Yeah, it's really interesting because, I mean, it's the 2 that stand out are Alicia Keys, and that's been ongoing for 10 or more years. Like, Alicia Keys was like, she didn't wear makeup on the red carpet for a couple of years. She's beautiful. She
Stunningly
really is
beautiful,
beautiful. The
and
truth is, we all are, but then, Pamela Anderson it, and I think for me, I think the reason that it hit differently when it was Pamela Anderson is because we grew up in a time when Pamela Anderson set the standard for
yes.
beauty. Like, she was
There was, like, a she
unattainably
had a solid decade that
she had
she
a
was
solid decade of absolutely setting the beauty standard. She was unattainably gorgeous. Yes, she's surgically enhanced in many ways. I think, like, watching things of her now, I think she rode the bimbo wave. And
absolutely.
I think she rode that all the way to the bank, which good for her because it turns out, like, now at this age, without the makeup on, she's really smart, which
Yeah.
I always figured she had to be smart. The difference was, like, now she says things and I'm like, "Oh, I'm listening." And shame on me, maybe she was saying the same things when she was unattainably setting the beauty standard. Maybe she was saying things that were worth listening to then too, and I was distracted by the beauty or wrote her off as not saying something worth listening. I don't know.
Well, I do think some of it is I agree, she was somewhat riding that bimbo wave, so I don't think she was saying some of the insightful things and such that she
Yeah.
shares now.
Yeah.
I think now she's just like, "You know what? I'm not gonna be a Playboy bunny anymore."
She's a really interesting woman. Again, I have no doubt that she always was. I mean, the story is she was on the jumbotron at a football game or something,
Yeah,
and that's where she got her start. So already, like, that's an interesting story. But I think the reason when Alicia Keys was doing it, and she still does it, she said, like, sometimes she wears makeup and false lashes, sometimes she wears no makeup at all. She's beautiful either way. She's an extremely talented woman. I mean, to this day, some of Alicia Keys, I mean, to this day, I've always said the song, This Girl Is on Fire, which is Alicia Keys, written and, composed by her, as far as I know anyway, maybe not, maybe I'm wrong.
no,
But
I think
that
it is.
I always called that the theme song for my daughter. We would turn it up and sing it, loud in the
Yes.
car, all three of us. I always admired her for having the nerve to do that. If I were famous, I would be the person that would probably not go on a red carpet without my full face of glam and all the body tape and probably body makeup and all the things it takes to look perfect there. That is who I would be. And so I always admired Alicia Keys, but now as a Gen Xer who watched Pamela Anderson all those years, like, it's for whatever reason, it's really impactful to watch her wear her aging face, her freckle I didn't even know she had freckles. Like, she's
Yeah.
in these interviews with no makeup on, and she's like a little freckle face, and I didn't and I mean that nicely, even though that was an insult to me when I was growing up. I didn't know that about her. Like, she just it's really impactful for me, to see that because I wouldn't say I ever tried to look like Pamela Anderson, but again, that was the standard. And we all the girls were looking at her, all the guys were looking at her, all of our parents, all of our children. You don't not look at her, especially at that moment in time when she
Yeah.
was, here.
Well, and it wasn't just
But
her boobs. Like she has a beautiful face. She had that perfectly tasseled, bleached, messy. I mean, like she had the original fucking messy
perfect.
bun. I
Hair
yeah.
was so perfect in the 90s and in the 2000s. She had, like, long the shaggy layers were
Yes.
exactly I'm sure it was fake hair. I don't know, maybe she's blessed with that. She was so perfect.
Yeah. I'm like it yeah, I'm like it wasn't just the it was and she had beautiful lips that we weren't all like, "Oh, she's had too much filler." Like she literally was I mean, for a long time, the
She was gorgeous.
yeah.
And she's really gorgeous now. Like, I think
Yes.
she's really, really gorgeous now. I love that she's run with her aging self. She literally looks gorgeous. Like, I was watching an interview recently with Jamie Lee Curtis and Pamela Anderson, and they're hilarious together, by the way.
I
Jamie Lee
bet.
Curtis is funny with everybody, and
Yeah.
I think she likes everyone. Like, I literally think there's no one who Jamie Lee Curtis doesn't like. Pamela Anderson is they both are there with no makeup on. They have chosen different routes for how they carry themselves. Jamie Lee Curtis has the short, silvery hair, which is also beautiful. But Pamela Anderson looks really beautiful. Like, she's really, really beautiful. And I think when we look at that and we go, that's so brave, what are we calling attention to? It's not brave. She made a choice. Like big deal. I go to the grocery store with no makeup on all the time. Like, big deal.
Well, and why wasn't it like you think that's what's brave of her? I think it's probably braver that she spent 2 hours getting dolled up for red carpets and things in the 90s. Like, why is it that going naturally because I think that's part of it is people are like, "Who knew that Pamela Anderson would be the one to set the natural beauty standard?" And I'm okay, first of all,
Yeah,
I'm like, again, like, okay, this is offensive.
it is offensive. The
Okay,
other one that happened recently, what was the award show? I think it was the Emmy Awards that were on
yes,
recently, and Gilmore Girls, Alexis Bledel is it Bledel?
yes, I think.
And Lauren Graham announced or, they were on the stage together.
Yeah,
Alexis is now 44. She was, like, 17 or something when she started in Gilmore Girls, one of my favorite TV shows of all time. Well-written characters, like, so much I have nothing but positive things to say about that show. And I did love Rory Gilmore, and I love the way that Alexis portrayed her. But she took a beating too. And people were like, "Oh, what happened to Rory Gilmore? Like, she got old." She's 44. First of all, that's not old, but it's not 17 anymore, guys.
um,
And she looks beautiful. Like, she was there in a beautiful, like, silver sparkly gown. I thought she was stunning. And apparently she doesn't get a lot, like, she hasn't had a facelift. It doesn't appear that she gets a lot of Botox. And people were really like, she looks old. And I'm like, what are we looking at when we say that?
well, and I guess, like, no, does she look older than her age? No, she does not. So, yeah, what are we saying
Also,
when
what
we're
does older than your age mean? I mean, I don't like, to an extent, I don't have a lot of control in the way my face ages. Like, I can do things like Botox, I can do things like skincare, but at the end of the day, like, I can't change that this dropped in the last,
right.
I can't like, those things cannot be changed. Age is gonna march right over my face the way it's intended to do. And I can't change it. So what does looks older than she should mean? Because I see a lot of 44-year-olds in my neighborhood who don't look the same that look much older than me.
Yeah. You know who else got shamed? Jennifer Love Hewitt. She
They said she
yeah,
got fat.
she said which she is not.
She is not fat.
No, she is
No.
literally a healthy size. I'm like, she's probably not even a double digit size still. She was
Oh,
so
no.
thin when she was young, and
Yes,
she had those big perky boobs that everyone loved to put in all of our faces, but she was so small, and now she still is small, and she's looked
yes.
fucking fabulous. People
I thought she
fat
looked
shame.
remarkable on that red carpet. She looked so beautiful. I was like, I could never. I could only wish to look like she
I
does.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I did not I did not li
Me neither. I was never really a fan.
right.
She
She
never
kinda
did
drove me
TV
nuts
or movies.
because yeah, I was
It
like
just wasn't my I mean, I didn't watch the things that she did. Okay, and don't forget, the rumor always has been John Mayer, Your Body is a Wonderland, is about Jennifer Love Hewitt's body. So excuse you, a whole freaking song that defined a generation
right?
is written about her body, and we're gonna go and be like, "Mm, she put on 15 pounds." Yeah, she needed to.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and
Yeah,
she's
she looked beautiful. I loved the dress that she wore. I thought she looked really beautiful. And I mean, I'll always defend people for
yes.
being who they are or whatever, but I yeah,
I did love I've always I know you don't care at all, but I've always loved Freddie Prinze Jr.
yeah, I have no opinion on I mean, I love that he and Sarah Michelle Gellar have been married
Yeah,
all these years, and I love their little, like, TikToks together and stuff like that,
yes.
like, I'm in for that, but again, like, not he didn't make movies or TV or anything that I cared about. I never thought he was that cute, but
Yeah, and he said something at the red carpet about both his wife and Jennifer. Look, he was like, "They aren't they beautiful or whatever." So just shout out to him for even before anyone had said anything, he was, made comments about both Sarah Michelle Gellar
yeah.
and Jennifer Love Hewitt. Yeah, I was like, seriously, she's probably a size 6 or an 8. She like and I mean, I was like, that's what a healthy body looks like. Can we like
I mean, she kinda said, like, "I eat food now and I'm really happy." Like, she kind like, in
yeah.
response to the backlash after the fact, I mean, I don't remember exactly what the quote was, but she basically was just like, "I mean, I'm happy where I'm at." So, I
Yeah.
think, we just forget, like, it's just so crazy. And then the one that I'm so, like, mad about, like, honestly mad about is Serena Williams. Okay, first of all, to this day, I think Serena Williams is one of the best things to have happened on this planet. She is the GOAT of tennis. There is no one who is better. And I get it, like it's arguable. I get it. And I personally believe she's the greatest tennis player of all time. More importantly, I think that the things that she does to try to make the world better, I really, really admire that in her. I think she's outspoken. I think she has worked really hard to like use her platform to make the world a better place.
Yes.
And I love that. I obviously love that about her. So back when she played tennis and she was like killing it, they all like she took a beating even before the days of social media being like they are, like, even just, like, in tennis magazine, Sports Illustrated magazine, like, stuff like that. She took a beating because they called her, like, gorilla arms. They said that she had a man's body, she was too
Yes.
muscular, and she had a powerhouse body. Like, she would step out on the court, and it was an intimidating sight, to be honest. Like, she was a strong,
Yes.
physically strong looking body, but she was also, like, a world-class athlete who was in a class of her own, like, no one else matched.
Right.
And so now she's retired and living her best life, and I'm so happy, even though I do miss her a little bit on the tennis court, but I'm
Yeah.
so happy that she,
Yeah.
like, good for her, and she's married to what's his name that,
I can't
I'm blanking on his name, but we all know who she's married to. She has 2, kids, and she's, like, really seems to be enjoying retirement, and she slimmed down, and now everybody's mad that she slimmed down. And then she, like, is advertising for Ozempic or something, and I don't like,
yeah.
that's her business. But also, she doesn't need that body anymore. She's not playing tennis. She doesn't need her body to be that anymore. And
Right.
why are we even talking about her body? Like, let's talk about like the things that she's done to move Black women forward. Like, let's talk about the tennis accolades. Like, there's so much to
Just
talk about that is not her body. And if she wanted to slim down, like, that's her business. She doesn't owe you an explanation
Well,
for that. But also, like, the double standard of she couldn't win when she looked one way, and now she can't win when she doesn't look that way?
right.
Why is what like, what?
I know. And because I see it, it pops up in between my Daily Mail things on Snapchat, where I get my news.
I know. It's not on Snapchat, you don't know what happens.
Yeah, exactly. But her ad pops up and she's like, after I had my kids, and I'm like, which is completely normal, especially when you take into consideration she was a world class athlete. So her body had more muscle mass and she worked hard to maintain that. So then
Yeah,
after she doesn't have to have all that muscle mass, it's really hard to not let that just turn into fat. Because that's what your body wants to do with it. Your body doesn't want to slim it down and get rid of it.
right.
Um, and I think, why does she have to tell us? Especially because no matter what she does, if she had lost weight and come out, no matter how she had done it, if people would judge her for it, I feel like. If she said, like, no, I've been working really hard, I have a personal trainer, I have a personal chef, whatever, people would be like, you're on the shot. She takes Ozempic, openly admits it, and is like, "I needed some he," and I love the way she says it, is she's like,
Yeah,
"I needed some help losing weight
yeah,
after my kids," which is not an uncommon thing, a lot of us can
really
relate to
common.
that.
Especially when you have kids older like she did. She didn't have
Yes.
kids when she was 22. So,
Yeah.
the older you are, the harder it is for your body to bounce back, and yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree with you fully. I think she didn't owe us an explanation. We don't it's not our business. I don't even know why we're talking about her body. I mean, I know why we are, but in general, like, she gives us so many better things to talk about.
Yeah.
So many better
I'm with
things.
you, and for the love of, let her be feeling herself, and in this, let her have this happy time,
I
and
know.
if she wants to do an ad for Ozempic because that helped her, v okay.
Good for her.
I mean,
Yeah, I
5
think
people down the street from us are on Ozempic, and we're not judging them, but because she openly
I
talks about
know.
it and because you think that she should have some supernatural power to change her body type, I mean, it drives me nuts, and I'm with you, she's such a great person, she's such a great athlete, she's such a great Black woman, I mean, she does stuff for can we talk about any of that? And, yeah.
I think the whirlwind that we get caught up in where we think celebrities owe us an explanation for how they like lost weight or if they got a facelift or whatever. They don't owe you an explanation any more than I owe an explanation for what I did to gain weight or lose weight or whatever. Like I don't owe like I choose to talk about it that I got the
Right.
Botox and you know, but I don't have to. And I could just as easily deny it. It's not anybody's business. And I think
Lindsay Lohan.
because we've seen some celebrities sort of get, like, bullied in the media into admitting that they took Ozempic. Like, Kelly Clarkson is she got really thin. She was unhealthily heavy. It was
Yes.
definitely unhealthy. She got really thin. Actually not really thin. She slimmed down. She lost the weight that she needed to. And we saw it in front of our eyes because she was doing the talk show when she was heavy, and then she slimmed down while she was doing the talk show. And for a long time, she was like, I live in New York now. Like, she tried to
Right.
deflect from it until eventually she finally had to say, like, "I did take the shots. I took Ozempic or whatever, and I lost the weight." She didn't owe us that. That's not our business. And I think the idea of, like, bullying these celebrities into telling us that they took the shot or that they got the facelift or if they got the boob job or whatever, like is that all like, Kelly Clarkson is she's one of the best singers.
She
Yeah, I mean,
I feel about Kelly Clarkson how you feel about Pink. I'm like, when I sing in my
feel the
head,
same way about Kelly Clarkson. I mean, I think karaoke should there probably is a playlist on
I
Spotify, but, like, I think the karaoke is incredible. I think her ability to change genres
she
so
has this,
quickly.
what is the show called? songs and stories or something where she has other people she had, like, Gloria Estefan come on, and she, like, talks to
Oh, I've
them
seen
about their
that, yeah.
career, and then they sing songs together. I saw one with the Jonas Brothers. Yeah, I know, she's amazing. And again, why is it our business? I mean, like, why is it our
It's not our
business?
business why she got a divorce. It's not our business that she lost weight taking a shot. Just enjoy her music and let her tell you what she wants to tell you. People, I mean, and Kelly Clarkson, granted, does tend to be an open book,
Yes.
but some people are comfortable with more information or less, and just like let the person
But
decide what
also,
they want to say.
because she tends to be an open book, then I think people felt like they could bully her into, and it was effective. They
Yeah,
continuously
it
were like,
was.
"No, she did, she did, she did." And then she was like, "Okay, I didn't take Ozempic. I did take she was like, "It wasn't Ozempic, it was one of the other ones." But she
Yeah,
also, like, had to clarify and be like, "I took it, like, for her, like, not just to lose weight for a vanity purpose. She had to do it for
yeah,
her health. She had, like, I'm guessing that, like, her A1C was elevated or whatever." But and again, like, me even speculating about that, like, that is not my business.
yeah. I mean, I don't even
Like,
think it
that's
matters what her. I mean, I don't think it matters what her reason for taking it was. I mean, I know a
yeah.
lot of people who take Ozempic because they are literally at a weight that is unhealthy for them, and maintaining it will cause long-term health
I think
effects.
that that is where she was, and I think that, like, I think she was in that place, and so they were like, "You have to do, like, you haven't been successful in doing what you've been doing to lose the weight, so we need to give you this boost and help." And why are we so judgy? This is what I've been wanting my whole life, is a skinny pill, okay? It's just a shot.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's interesting that people get judgy about it, and because I literally almost everyone I know, I mean, that's not true, but I know countless people who are either on it, have been on it, want to take it. Like, and I know a lot of people who I'm like, I think you should just take the shot. Like, you've been fighting the same battle for so long, and you're not getting anywhere, or you
I
could go
have my
down the path.
appointment next month to see my primary care and discuss it, which
Yeah,
I will, as
yeah,
I will go through my whole shot journey on the podcast and be, completely honest about it.
yeah. I think
Like
that's
how
fun.
you
I mean, I think,
yeah,
yeah. I mean, I think if you want to, I think that's fun. I think
yeah, but I think, I mean, honestly, like, I have always struggled and always had to be careful about what I eat and making sure that I'm active enough and maintaining that fine balance. And as you get older, that gets harder and harder. And I mean, and Kelly Clarkson isn't quite as old as us, but I still think, like, again, like, kids and whatever else, it just, I mean, why is it wrong to have a little help? And it also, like, one of the things it does is it helps you to retrain your body and your mind and your brain to have a different relationship with food. Like, it helps you to get to a place where you're not constantly obsessing about the cookie that's downstairs that I don't know. I feel like we're so into people's business, and like Lindsay Lohan, everyone's like, we need to know exactly what facelift you got. Like, stuff like that where I'm like, I mean, why? Why do we need to
yeah,
know?
yeah. It's yeah. Yeah, and I think I mean, I think some of it is the whole I think some of the reason that we do push back, like, we as a group push back and ask for the information is because we do look at it and go, "That doesn't look like how the rest of us are aging." And it sets the standard,
Yes.
unattainable to an unattainable level. And then we're like trying to justify the reason that we don't get to that standard by going, well, she had all this work done, plus she has a home chef and she has a home gym and she doesn't, she doesn't have to go to work eight
Yeah.
to five like I do. So then like part of it is like fighting back against that unattainable beauty standard. Cause I find myself doing it too at times. But I think I mean, I think it still comes down to it's not our business. It is an unattainable beauty standard. Like, I don't even know. I mean, I don't even know who I could look at and be like, that's who I want to look like and have that person be the same age as me, have the same access. Because I mean, I joke about a facelift, but I don't have the money for a facelift. I can't afford a facelift. I can afford the Botox, but I can't afford a facelift. I'm not even sure I could afford an eye lift. And so I think, we look at it and we go, I want to look like that. Like I want to look like a Kardashian or Pam
Right.
Anderson in the 90s or whatever it is, and we can't attain it. And so then we justify that unattainability by going like, well, I mean,
I
that
mean, and the
person.
truth is, like, we're all different, and most of the time when you look at someone and you go, "God, I wanna look like that," you can't. Like, I wanna look like Priyanka Chopra.
Yeah,
That's not gonna happen no matter how like,
no,
I can go to the gym every day,
no,
and I'm
that's not going to do it.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm like, I remember when, like, Christina Aguilera was first coming out and she was rail thin and, like Jennifer Love Hewitt, and they were so thin and they would wear the low, like, crotch pants where you could see their hip bones and whatever. Well, if I'm thin enough that you can see my hip bones, you can also see, like, my ribs, and I'm, like, emaciated and probably on crack. Like, that's just my body's never gonna look like that. So yeah, because I think we get into this place where we're like, "This is the beauty standard for today," and so then we all try and get that, and, like, why can't we all be beautiful?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, and leave the ones that, that choose to not wear makeup or, choose to not dye their hair or things like that. Like, leave them alone. Like, I appreciate it. I love it that they're willing to do that. I don't know that it makes them brave. I think we're undermining the normalcy of it by calling it brave.
Right. Yeah. Because again, like, lots of women go out all the time without makeup. I work with women all the time that are like, "I can't believe you wake up early enough to put makeup on before you come to work." That
The same women who are going to work with no makeup on or letting their hair go gray or whatever, a lot of us I mean, I go out much more like, this is my regular casual face. This is no big
Yeah.
deal. But if I go to a wedding or if I go to,
Yeah.
an award like a banquet for work or something like that, which that would be the closest thing I have to a red carpet, I step it up a notch. But I
Right.
certainly don't do that for my everyday life, and I think we forget, like, we see these celebrities on their red carpets, they've gotten dressed in their best, and a few of them, like Pamela Anderson and, choose to go dressed in their best with no makeup on. That's normal.
Right.
That's actually normal, it's not actually brave, it's just normal.
Um, well, and we also, like, it just has gotten so out of control now it's like the norm if you're gonna, go to like some big gala event or whatever. Are you gonna go get your hair done? Are you gonna have someone do your makeup? Like you can't just it's not where you can just do it yourself. And like why does it have to be an all day fucking affair? Like if I had to go to red carpets, I don't want to sit in a chair for like 3 hours with hot shit all around my head and hair getting ready beforehand.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm not even watching football this year because I'm just like, I don't have like 3 hours to dedicate to a football game every weekend. So I certainly don't have like 8 hours to dedicate to getting ready for a 3-hour event on a red carpet, but I don't have that life. So, yeah. Listen, the dog is crying in the other room, so I gotta
Yeah.
go let her out. So I think we should wrap this up.
Yeah. So we are going to get back on our schedule. I know we said that a month ago.
Plan.
I'm feeling much better as I cough.
We couldn't hear it. Your mic like cut out the coughing.
Oh, good. Okay.
Okay, so apparently Karen is not accustomed to talking this much anymore.
Clearly not. I know. So we are going to get back on schedule. This is something like we both are pretty passionate and also like it helps us connect.
I know. Honestly, like I haven't talked to you. I've missed talking to you. I don't know what's
I
going
know.
on.
I'm
You
like
don't know what's
there's
going
so much
on.
stupid shit that has happened in my life that I have not gotten to tell you.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
same.
Let me end with this hilarious story from a hospital inpatient. There was a patient who was supposed to not have anything to eat or drink. Knew this. The patient is with it. They're able to walk around, whatever. They were aware of all this. And they were doing it because they were going to have a scope, an EGD scope, upper GI. So they go off the floor, get to the GI lab, and say, there's a caffeine pill stuck in my throat. So the nurse investigates, and this is the story. The patient was wiping their nose with a Kleenex, and in that Kleenex happened to be a caffeine pill, and it dropped right into their mouth. That was it. Anyone that's from Kansas City will know what this means. I said, I worked at Truman for over 3 years, and that's new for me. Okay. Where did it come from? It didn't come in the box of Kleenex that the hospital provided.
My God. Okay, I have one to match that. I work I work in hearing aids, and I was visiting with somebody recently who also works in hearing aids, and she said, "I had a patient swallow her hearing aid." I go, "An adult patient?" And she was like, "Yeah." It's a hearing aid that's called a lyric. It's a pretty small, it looks a little bit like an earplug, and it gets inserted deep into the ear canal by an audiologist or a dispenser, and then it stays there for like 3 months, and then you remove it and replace it because the battery lasts about 3 months. She goes, "Yeah, my patient swallowed it." So then, like, that's a whole thing, like, you gotta go to the ER, do an X-ray, figure out where it is. Is this, like, okay to let her leave it and pass it? The FDA, blah, blah, blah. I go, "It's in the ear, and your patient's not supposed to remove it themselves, and they can't reach it." Like, "What do you mean she swallowed a lyric device?" Well, the patient's family has a tool to remove the lyric device, and for some reason they did, and they set
Sure.
it down on the tray in front of her and gave her her pills on the same tray.
Oh my god.
And then the family member came back to put the lyric back in, and they were like, "Where'd the lyric go?" And she's like, "What are you talking about?" So she swallowed
Wow.
it with her pills.
Oh my god.
Mhm.
Why is the family taking it in and out?
Don't know. I don't have an explanation for that.
I did have a
I had the
patient
same question.
I had a patient that made me
I
think
was
of
like,
you.
"This is new. Like, this is a new dilemma.
Yeah.
You might be the first one to have had this happen."
I had a lady who the family brought in the hearing aids, and I'm, like, screaming in her ear. I'm like, "Do you want me to get your hearing aids? They're done charging." She's like, "Oh, no, I don't need them." "Yes, you do." She would like,
Yeah, you
she's
do.
so deaf, she hits the call light, and when we answer and say, "What can I get for you?" She can't hear us,
She
so
can't
she
hear
does.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
Okay.
so we'll be back in 2 weeks. Text me later and tell me about your plans for tonight that we never got to.
I'm so excited. I'm going to see the Downton Abbey movie with my teenage son. My teenage son and I love Downton Abbey. Like, we watched the show together. He was like 12 when we started watching the show, and we go to every movie together. And this is going to be the highlight of my week. I am so excited. He was like, "Mom, do you want to go see Downton Abbey this Saturday?" I was like, "Yes, yes, I
Absolutely.
do."
Yes.
Not My daughter didn't even wanna go. She didn't even watch she watched a little bit of it and then she quit. So I'm so excited. I'm gonna go see Downton Abbey, hang out with my teenage son, watch the old people.
Excellent. Oh, I love that for you.
So fun.
All
Okay.
right.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later. Love you.
Love you too. Bye.